Hi, Adam. How are
Good
you?
afternoon, Simon. I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining us on our sofa sessions. This is the first of many, and no, we're really grateful that you joined us today because obviously you're doing a lot on social media and you're doing a lot of stuff with us. So it's really nice to get you here on the sofa and talk about you a little bit instead of.
It's lovely to see your smiling little face.
Oh, thank you. Well, obviously, with the whole situation that's going on at the moment, we're both locked up in our houses. So the sofa session isn't as pretty as the normal sort of sofa that's upholstered. But I have got a sofa that my mum upholstered in this room. So if you need any upholstery done, she's a pretty dab hand with her.
It's quite nice and romantic with you being there in your bedroom.
Yeah, no, there is something quite magical about this space, to be honest. It's where I've had quite a lot of good experiences in the past.
Experiences. Okay.
The decor was the same as this day. I've moved out since then, so the decor was a bit hyacinth bouquet now, I think, to be honest.
Yeah. I was going to say, is that an improvement to how it was before?
Nah, before it was a little bit more manly. I had a few Max Power pictures and stuff like that on the wall, so it was all right. But how have you been anyway? What have you been up to?
I've been well. We've been the team's been working hard. We're out and about on the different projects that we have, obviously within the restrictions that we do. I have to say that with the caveats for anybody that's watching.
Definitely.
But no, we've been busy. I can't complain. Really, it's been a great start to the year. Slowish end to the end of last year, obviously with the Christmas lockdown. But I can't really complain, Simon, if I'm honest.
No, definitely. So, for the kind of viewers out there, introduce yourself. So you're Adam, obviously, and what does Adam do?
So I'm the co-founder of Art of Integration, and we are a Surrey-based Control 4 home integrator. We work typically in the Surrey area, but we do have projects in all over Europe for the clients that we deal with. They've got their secondary homes in different parts of Europe.
Oh, brilliant! So, like Art of Integration, is it sort of what's the team like? Have you got kind of obviously there's you and I know Steve as well.
Yeah, so we've got Steve, who's my partner. So he's the main guy in regards to all the engineering and the operations side of the business. We have Nick, who does all of our technical side of our aftercare and client liaison. Then we have our two main on-site guys, Neil and Adrian. So it's a small dynamic team, but it works really well.
Yeah, and I mean I know some of the guys that you've got on your team, and I've known them from sort of other businesses that they've worked in, and I've commented before because I saw a picture of Adrian before, and I said, "Oh, have you got Adrian working for you?" I mean, he's a good guy, he knows what he's doing, and he's a nice, easy person to get along with when you're on site, and that's important, I think, for you as a dealer because you're going into people's homes. You want people that if they do come and talk to the engineer, it's not just a butt crack sort of bent into a rack doing some cabling. They've got a personality about them, and I do think the staff you've got are really friendly guys.
Yeah, I think that the staff, I always try and make sure the staff that we've got are what I call podium finishers. That they're the best at what they do, and within the elements of with their engineering, their programming, but also over their customer service side and their approach, their friendliness, their eager. There's a lot of people in the industry that this isn't a 9 to 5 job, is it? We know that we get there at 8. Sometimes it doesn't finish till 8. Sometimes it doesn't finish till midnight. There's a lot of people that you see on social media that are starting at early hours of the morning until late at night. Then you've got the office work and the back end office side of it that needs to be completed. So this isn't a standard 9 to 5 job, and people in this industry are generally have an interest in what anybody's trying to achieve, whether it be a cinema room or a home automation system. They've either got it at home, they play with it when they're not at work, and they believe in the products that they're installing. So
definitely. Well, like with all of obviously where we are now in the world, I've noticed that there's become more of a mainstream, not mainstream, that's the wrong word to use it, but like more of an acceptance of who audiovisual integrators are, because you've got your kind of essentials on your books, you've got your plumber that you've always worked with, you've got your carpenter you've always worked with, and they do your house stuff. But when it comes to the world we're moving into and the way that we're integrating products into people's homes, and also how we're using those products to communicate with family and friends and meetings for work and stuff, our industry, I feel, has become a real necessary industry to be able to keep that sort of flow of communication moving. Have you noticed like more of an increase in not just like the obvious like lighting control and control systems and stuff like that, but more of a kind of entertainment based sale as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the part of our industry has been helped by the fact that more the DIY, I call them DIY products, like the Alexa, the home automation, the Philips Hue, the some of those products that people can go and buy from a normal wholesaler or Dixon's, whoever, that they can go and install them, and then they get a little bit more interest into the market, and then they look at wanting to be able to do A, B, and C, which then goes up the ladder. So the home automation, as I call it, home automation as a bubble, has got larger from the bottom all the way up to the top.
Definitely.
So I think it's just people are getting more aware of it from being pumped at it, from being on Alexa, all the way through to the high end. You know, that product is common from a low level project all the way up to a high level project that people can implement that product.
Definitely. I don't know about you, but I've seen more of an increase in inquiries to do with sort of assisted living and care homes and that kind of stuff. I'm seeing a lot of these, I call them sort of residential kind of villages almost, where they've got like a coffee shop, they've got a cinema, they've got a bowling, all these sort of things that are being put into the care homes, which, to be honest, when my nan and granddad, bless them, went into assisted living, it was nothing like that. It was like I used to go there and all it was the smell of boiled vegetables and people sitting in wingback chairs wishing they wouldn't be there anymore. But now it seems like these places that are being produced,
and whatever's originals.
Yeah, I'll make loads of them. Literally, like they're just slipping over them on the floor. There's too many coming out of people's pockets. But it is like that now, and you've got businesses investing in that kind of thing to make the life of these people as normal as possible in respect of what they've got used to. And I mean, if I had that, then going to visit your nan, going to the cinema with them, and that our industry is at the forefront of producing that service to these people. And I think it's definitely something that's growing. But so yeah, I mean, with Art of Integration, like, how did it kind of begin? Because it's funny for me. I've been in this industry now for about 8 years, and obviously I've gone straight into distribution. I've always been in sales. I've always sold things, but never sold audio visual in the past. And I kind of built my my career in this industry with Pulse. But how did you kind of come to the conclusion that that's what you were going to do? How did it kind of begin? You know, the Art of Integration.
It's a long-winded story, but I met my business partner Steve back in the 1990s. Steve was actually a project installation engineer, project manager at a place where I worked. I was working at Microsoft in Reading at that time, and he was doing the envisioning center for I think it was Windows 2000 at that point. Yeah. I worked with him for probably a couple of years doing that on and off of different projects inside the Microsoft building, and then we bumped into each other probably 8 or 9 years later, just through residential projects. I mean, working at different companies and he working for different companies. I then used him as subcontractors. We worked together on different projects, and we found that, you know, the majority of people that we were subcontracting to just didn't quite grasp the fact that it is a customer related industry. The fact that we have to, it's not like you install it, you run off, you get the money, it's finished. You know, these systems, fine tuning, tweaking. That client is with you for the duration as long as you've got them for, unless they go somewhere else because your service. And that 9 times at that point, we then basically decided that we would stop subcontracting to other people as a team, and then we'd create our own entity, which is when, you know, Art of Integration was born. 9 years ago now, and we said we'd give it 6 months. 8 years later, we're still here. All of our work is going through recommendation. We've done no advertising, other than maybe this year or middle of last year, we've got a company in to start looking at our social media. But other than that, it's been word of mouth over the last 8 or 9 years, and we've organically grown. We've kept it small. We aim to do a certain amount of projects every year of a certain revenue size, keep those clients happy, and they've just recommended us over recommendation. So that's our business model. We're not here to be the next massive company. We're just here to make sure that our clients get the best service and get the best installation and the best back office support.
I think that's a really nice ethos to have, and especially as you mentioned, like, you've grown the business organically, because I think it's so easy in our times to go out and lease a van and get yourself some accounting software really cheap and go on a course and become an AV. But it's not about that. It's about using the skills that you've had throughout your career to develop a business that has got a good, strong foundation behind it to be able to deliver the sort of service that you want to the clients. I think that's so important, because I've noticed it recently in a completely different world. I mean, the customer service part is you know, that's from one of my previous companies that I was with. The guy was just bang into us that it's just about customer service. That partnered with Steve's ability for engineering. You know, he's done everything from commercial, residential to super yachts.
There's nothing that he can't resolve or solve, or the installations are the neatest and the racks are the best. There's nothing that phases him, which again, he's got the experience for every installation possible. I look, and he's got great years of experience of doing so much different types of work. So I just think that the relationship and the partnership that we've had, or we do have, has helped the business, because sometimes I'm up in the clouds and he has to grab me by the ankles to bring me back down to say, come on, mate, it's all good that we're going to do A, B, and C this year, but let's start here. So
I remember when, I think we've met before this, but the first time we met at Pulse, when we did a demonstration, you'd come down as the company that were working on I think it was an MDU or something that was going on at the time. And it was quite funny, because in all those meetings you get different types of characters. And I have to say, Adam, you're being very professional at the moment, because I do know your true colours. And so far we haven't put any censored bars up, which is quite good. But it was just funny in that meeting, because I just remember everyone's got this sort of like little plum in their mouth and doing what they need to do, and this is this and this is that. And then there's Adam at the front, like pointing his laser at stuff, going, how big's this screen? It's just sort of like down.
I can't help it sometimes. Obviously, people buy from people, and there's a great person online, and we all know who he is, of another AV company who's in front of the camera every day, daily, and people buy from him because he is a great person and he's in front of the camera. So before you even meet him, you know who he is. And again, I hate these sort of things, these videos, but
you love it, mate.
But it is true. It is true. And when I meet someone, I'd rather be myself and be honest with people for the scenario or what's best. And yes, they may say I want A, B, and C, but really we know that that's not really what they want. It's keeping up the Joneses and just making sure that we're delivering what truly what they want, not their pie in the sky idea of what could be achieved as such.
Exactly, and like the thing that I've always learned as a salesperson is you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, and often with the right questioning, with the right environment to produce those questions, you get the best out of the client. I think it's so easy for our industry to have a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of skill to be able to turn around to someone and say, no, mate, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about what you need to do. It's about knowing what you need to do, but implementing it in the way that the client wants. So it's a really kind of fine balance of sort of being assertive in what you need to be to make sure that your job and the project goes smoothly, but also understanding that you don't want to alienate the client in a way that their ideas aren't the right ideas.
But that's also part of obviously we bring our clients to your demonstration suite is the fact that, one, it's obviously very good, probably the best in the UK that you can take someone to. The second thing, the delivery that I've had from I've had yourself and Capes do a delivery to a client, the nth degree of the science behind it, of why A, B, and C needs to be done. The client then grows the confidence in not only us as the integrator, but also in Pulse and the products that are being displayed, which is a huge part of it. If you're, as an AV company, you may be going against 2 or 3 other people, being able to have a partner in Pulse or Habitech, whoever else you may be working with, can deliver you a very good presentation and the science behind it, why you need acoustic treatment, why you need to have the projection screen this size based on this room, and the science behind it, and deliver that with capability and passion, which you guys does help. It is a fantastic tool for us integrators.
No, definitely. I think knowledge is power, because when you have a client that you're working with and you're constantly having to kind of reaffirm things with them, it makes your relationship a bit different. Whereas if right at the conception of kind of this is what we're going to do as an idea to actually completing it at the beginning, if the client is made aware of why you need to do these things, it makes the decisions leading up to the commissioning of that project a lot smoother, because you're not having to then go back and battle and reconfirm that and understand that. It's client knows, right, this is what I can do. I've had an experience of this, and this. I understand it from the demonstration in the way that it was provided. And I mean, we've done quite a few demonstrations together, and the way that I demonstrate is very much about education in terms of design, but also not education in terms of knowing every single percentage and what's the total harmonic distortion of that and what's the sensitivity of this speaker, because often the client doesn't need to know that information. They just need to have the confidence and understanding that Adam has that knowledge, and his partners also have that knowledge, in that it's a trust to pull together that project to its entirety. So I love that we do demonstrations together, and I do have fun doing demos with you. It's a good thing, because we've done one recently. We're doing a project. Well, it's actually completed now. How is Babs? Is his project?
We are just finished doing the last parts of it next week. So it's just the last parts of it. The room's been done, the carpet's been finished, etc. So the commissioning of it is going to be done next week.
Brilliant. He was brilliant. He was a really nice client, and very clever guy, isn't he? He's got a nice business that he does with his import. Really like young guy as well. So it was a real fun experience.
A dream client that knew what he wanted. We had the room to do it, knew what he wanted, knew the colours, knew the nth degree of what he was trying to achieve for the budget that he had. And again, being able to bring them to you, which, we did that, a late night demonstration, being able to demonstrate all 3 rooms to him. He understood what we could achieve with his budget, which was perfect. By the time that we've done the demonstration, a week later we're on site. We delivered that project within a very short period of time, with the help of a little plug for Desmond's and Sons. Thank you, guys.
How you doing, Aaron? Are you all right, mate?
So again, working with working with the great trades, the great people in our industry helps you to deliver a fantastic project. With yourselves, with Desmond's, etc. We delivered that project in a very short space of time for him. Where some other integrators have been charged telling him that they couldn't do it until the middle of this year. So it's nice to be able to deliver a good project.
Definitely. And we had quite I explained this in the cooking show last week with Margaret, in that we sometimes have some quite not creative ways of delivering. It's still a box from point A to point B, but I think one thing that I noticed with that project was the flexibility that we had as 2 businesses, because obviously things are a little bit difficult at the moment. It was around a Christmas period. Putting things in the back of a DPD lorry might end up cat food arriving instead of an AVR or something like that. So having your willingness to work with us in the deliveries. I mean, we did some same day couriers. We did. You collected some of the stuff, and it was really nice for the 2 businesses to work together. It wasn't just integrator, distributor. In between here is just a load of other people. It was very much working together, and we all had the same drive to get that project completed. And last week's video as well was about introducing the team at Pulse. And I think throughout your projects, you've worked with every single individual. I mean, you work with Ollie for the Lutron side of things. You work with Carla and Mark in the purchasing teams. Obviously, Maggie, our lovely Margaret, who does everything. And it's something that I want other dealers to understand, is that we are a family. We are a tight-knit group of people that all have their skills and expertise to be able to deliver that. And
it's a great set of people. Whether you pick up the phone to enter any of you guys, answer the phone, you get the same friendly, great response and help that you would get. Not that every distributor isn't like that, but I'm just your question is answered or put through to the right person, and you get a timely response, which is what we always want, of course, because we always are under pressure from our end, probably. But no, it's easy to deal with you guys, and hopefully once you pull your finger out and get your online purchasing system sorted out, Simon, then we can. I don't want to speak to you, but it just makes for my business, when we're procuring, if the guys can do it online rather than making the phone calls, it's nice to speak to you. Our conversations always last about 25 minutes, no matter what we're talking about. But at least if we can order it online, whatever time of the day or night, and when the guys are on site, then that's really helpful.
No, that is true. And I mean, I'll say this out, you've personally seen part of our website already. I mean, you were lucky enough I think you came in for the demo as I was doing some bits on it, and I showed you. I mean, it is a platform to be able to do exactly that. Between the hours of 9 to 5, you need to have people in the office, but often 9 to 5 is the time when you're, like you say, on site working, and it's the time when you get home, you put your kids to bed, you've sat down, you've got, I don't know, some box set on TV, and you've got your laptop in front of you, and you're planning your next week, you're planning your next day. And if you need to know, is that Millennia LPXL speaker in stock, that is what is going to be live on the website. So you're going to be able to plan a lot easier. And also know alternative products. I think that's a good way of learning alternative products sometimes, because say, for example, you are going to do, I don't know, speaker A, but speaker A isn't in stock, but B and C are. Well, what is the difference between B and C? Well, I can see that live on the website. It's a slight difference in sensitivity. Okay, it's going to be a better quality speaker. Yeah, it's £400 more for the whole project, but that £400 more might be worth the squeeze because everyone wants to get their projects completed quickly and it's in stock, you know? So it's that kind of fluid way of you working, which is going to be really exciting moving forward.
Yeah, I think for us, I still, we are only a small business, but for me, like you say, the 9 till 5, if I'm out on the road and the engineers are on site and we don't have a dedicated person in the office to do procurement, when you get home, the first thing you want to do is, if it's 5:05, the phones are shut, you want to be able to jump on install, make sure that order's placed, it's going to be shipped the next day for the following day.
Definitely.
We try, and as a business, we try and make sure our procurement's done on Tuesdays and Thursdays for this week or the following week, depending on how, again, projects move, projects change. Some projects get pushed back, we bring the others forward that maybe you haven't done the procurement for. So being able to do that online and make sure that everything is going to be delivered by the end of the week, ready for the following week, is a great tool to have, rather than having to keep making the calls.
Definitely. And I think from my side as well, it's all about alleviating the right amount of pressure in the right areas. I think my team's probably not going to like me saying this, but people need to be put under a certain element of pressure. There's no point in being in a job and just floating around every day and things happen and it's all lovely and fluffy. Like, you need to have a certain amount of pressure to drive you forward. And I think that's a necessity, but also there is a certain amount of pressure that can be added in areas in which can be automated a lot more. So one of the things that it's going to really help with for you is, I mean, obviously that project that we did together recently, just before Christmas, it's a lot of, like you say, manual process of speaking to people, making payments, get that invoice, all these kind of things. So having that alleviated means that Pulse is then able to focus more on the project development side of things, but also helping you on things during the day when it counts and you need to get hold of someone and they're not sort of knee deep in processing orders. So it's going to really help you moving forward as well. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about was your social media, really, because we've, as you know, created Pulse Creative. We're going to be offering all sorts of services to the industry. The camera equipment, everything we've got is going to be incredible. But we've noticed recently, since working with you, the video stuff that you've been producing has been awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, we've got a great team on board that do all of our social media, all of the filming for us. So we've been lucky to be able to get them pre-lockdown to the majority of the projects which we've done and we've completed. And actually, when you look back at them, you think, wow, we've done some great projects in the last couple of years. But just to be able to showcase them. And websites are great for sending people to them. But nowadays, the Instagram is your online portfolio, really, I believe. In the majority of instances, if you're having a sales meeting and you want to be able to bring up that project that was in X location, we did this in when you're having that discussion, you've got that portfolio online. You can't show every single project on your website. It's quite hard to do that and keep it up to date. So the social media platform is a fantastic way of being able to just know what you're doing now, what you have done, and and be able to video things and give people an insight to what we do as a daily basis. We all know somebody out there who does it every day, day in, day out, and has made a fantastic business out of it. Mr. Rich, you're right. He does a fantastic job. We all follow him. Some of it, I admire what he's done. I think the industry's been in a position for a long period of time, and he's shaking it up. There's the high echelons of people in London, all over the country that do what they do very well. And Rich has just basically just opened the doors to see what we do. It's not black magic anymore. This is what we do. This is how it's done.
It's important.
I don't plug him anymore because I want to follow my social media.
Definitely. When you look at someone like Yanni from Yanni, for example.
Yeah.
Like, let's face it, I know it's a very skilled thing, but he wraps cars. It's not something new. You've been able to wrap your car since I had a bloody Corsa SXI back in the day. But what he's done is taken his business and, like you say, open the doors to the public and say, this is what we do. This is how we do it. This is our great team of people. And you feel like you're involved with them the whole time, which is such a nice way of presenting yourself as a business. And I must say, mate, those pictures that you've got on your LinkedIn of like your You with your little check trousers on. I mean, did you buy them specially for the day?
No, that's my golf chic that I like to try and pull off.
All right, you go. Do you
I
play?
get a lot of comments for.
Do you play golf?
No.
I was going to say.
only crazy golf.
Crazy. Oh, mate, I can't see you on a golf course. I reckon you get bored of it.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. I think social media is, in fact, a great platform. You know, there's a lot of people that have tapped into it a long time ago that do very well out of it, and some of us, like me, that I have my hands up that we really are new to that industry or sales channel, however you want to describe it.
Definitely.
But it has been helpful. You know, we have got some of our clients do see it. There has been recommendations that have come through from it. It's able to show other people what we're doing, and we can also, you get to see what other people are doing, which it's great for us to get other ideas of what we do as a business. May not always, it works for us, but may not be working for everybody else.
Exactly.
And it's nice to see products. It's a great platform to be on.
Definitely. I mean, when I was just saying, when we was at school, and you'd look at your mate's paper to see what he'd written down, that was cheating. But nowadays that's called collaboration, you know. So it's important we're an industry, and without competition there can't be industry, you know. It's important to everyone.
We've got leaders in our industry in different, you know. I really admire the work that people like IdeaWorks do, SMC, you know, the cornflakes of this industry. They do some amazing, you know, truly amazing projects, whether it be a commercial, a residential, a massive yacht. Their work is amazing, and I have to, you know, have my hands up to it. You know, they're people that you should follow. And then, you know, we've got other people in the industry that are new to the industry that are really hitting it with social media, again, that are doing fantastic, that are new to the industry, that are doing fantastic projects, and then showing them on social media. And then getting the clients to say, yeah, it's been a really good job, it's been a great journey, it's fantastic. You get to see that the whole way through, which is really nice.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, no, it is. I mean, obviously with Pulse Creative being in place, you've got some projects coming up in the future with us, haven't you? This year that we're gonna exercise our creative license with and produce some really cool content for you. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about some of the projects you've got coming up this year.
So at the moment, we've got 2 or 3 new build projects which are in local to us. So the typical Oxshott, Cobham, Esher area, that's our normal belt of works. Then we've got 3 or 4, 4 residential refurbishments. So they spread from sort of Wimbledon, Putney, and North London. Again, for a standard project for us, we've got the Control 4 home automation, Lutron lighting, a media cinema room in each of them with multiple room audio, ruckus Wi-Fi, etc. So yeah, it's a nice portfolio to start with for the year. With some, as you know, me and you have sat down and gone for a number of other projects which we're hoping to sort of land in Q3 this year. So some exciting times ahead, subject to, obviously, I have to say, the restrictions and all the other jams. But I don't like talk. I know it's a very negative subject, and I think we want to remain as positive as possible. I saw the great post from Mike on LinkedIn the other day. You know, we need more mics putting out the more positive image. And I know that, you know, we are all being affected by it. But every 10 times you read a negative post, there's only really one person that's given a positive vibe towards something. So,
well, definitely. I mean, I was joking about it at the start, but the reason I'm in my old bedroom is because my house, as you know from the cooking show last week, is being renovated at the moment, and I had to move in with my parents again. So I'm here with my wife, 3 dogs, and a daughter.
Which one's your favourite?
Sorry?
Which one's your favourite?
Which one's my favourite? Probably Chihuahua Albie, the little one. He's all right. But it's been eye-opening to how, like, my parents, for example, they watch the news. Like, it's flipping on permanently. It's like just the BBC. And all it is just a regurgitation of the same thing for 7 to 10 hours of it's just it brings you down. I say to them, guys, like, watch something else. You know, like, we all know it's bad. We all know things are going wrong in the world. But if you sit there and dwell on it and not kind of strive to do things differently, then it just puts you in this weird kind of mood, really. So I'm not saying I avoid the news. I just I choose to watch it and be thankful for it when I need it, instead of just having it there as something that needs to just keep reminding me that everything's bad all the time. So
yeah,
nice.
On Instagram there's a page called Simply Politics, and every day they just give you an update of where it is, straight to the point, easy to comprehend, rather than watching hours and hours and hours of different people's points of views of where we're going to be and what's going on. It just recovers it, which I found quite nice to get the snippet of the day very quickly, rather than having to, like you say, watch the 9 or 10 hours of everybody's different opinions of where we are in the world of what's going on. So
definitely. So, I mean, thank you for coming on the sofa session today, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. And guys, I hope that Adam has given you the confidence to come on camera and talk about your businesses. You know, like Adam is a good friend of mine and has worked very well with me over the last sort of 8 years, but it is hard to get on camera. You know, it is a daunting thing to put yourself out there live in front of a load of people, but it's the way of the world now, and it's a great way of you presenting your business, obviously through the marketing that Pulse Cinemas does. It's visible to the world, so this platform is really good for dealers to come on and talk about their businesses, give us the magic of why you are who you are, and we're really grateful for you coming on, Adam. I think it's been a really nice chat.
Thank you, buddy.
That's all right. What are you doing today anyway?
Just finishing off a couple of tenders and then just getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? I've been off all week this week, so I'm sort of forgetting what day it is. It's Thursday today, isn't it?
Friday today.
Friday?
Friday.
It's Friday. Of course it's Friday. Do you know what I mean? I've literally lost the plot this last couple of days. I've been sat in my parents' house going back and forth to the property, and every time I go in there, there's something else that needs to be paid for. So hopefully you can get me some cinema jobs so I can pay for the renovations. That would be really nice.
Not a problem at all, mate. Not a problem.
Nice one, man. Well, look, have a lovely.
It's nice to see you. It's nice to have a little catch up and to see where the action used to happen in your house.
Well, yeah, look, I'll give you a little tour if you want. It's the really, really lovely bed sheets.
Nice interior, yeah.
Built-in wardrobes from the 80s, which is nice. We've got upholstered boxes that match the really, really rather terrible wall.
It's like someone's had a car crash in Laura Ashley.
Though, do you know what? I think if my mum could hear this, she would come in and actually punch me in the face. She's a little bit of a lunatic, bless her. So,
wow. Okay. I'm not going to say anything about your mum, because last time I did, she hurt me.
Brilliant, man. Well, look, have a lovely weekend, and
you too,
we will catch up next week.
Take care. See you soon.
See you later. Bye-bye.